Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is a beautiful early morning here at the off-grid property, and it looks really great right now. A lot of the leaves have fallen already, and so consequently there is a lot more sunlight coming down here and hitting the cabin. I'm real excited to be working hard today at the cabin. Today's project is to do the rough installation of the electrical system, so I'm going to walk you through all of that. And today's date is November the 2nd. So I have about 50 days to get the cabin done. Oh my goodness, there's no way, by Christmas. And so my goal for the year when I started this really in July was to spend Christmas morning here with the family and children. So I've got 50 days and there's a lot to do. I need to do the electrical, the siding, paint the siding and trim and install the trim, the insulation, then the ceiling, then the flooring, then the furnishings, a million tiny little projects too. I have just been super busy, and church has been busy and work and everything else. And so now it is full on cabin mode for the rest of the year. So a lot to do, excited for today's project, and we'll get on with it. Walk up to the off-grid workshop and I see this. And I have been trying to kill this mouse that's been in here a little bit. And look at that. Got him. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I've got 3 more traps. I'm gonna kill every mouse in the entirety of West Tennessee. That's the plan. All right, I am back inside the cabin, and last time I got it dried in, and it literally looks and feels dried in, and there's pretty much no air gaps anywhere, which is great. And so time to get started on the electrical. Now, I am not an electrician. In fact, my experience, apart from changing a few outlets, involves me watching one YouTube video before I attempt to do my own. So I'm gonna do the rough work today. And then I have a buddy of mine who is a co-pastor elder at another church near us, and we're sister churches, and we coordinate and do ministry together, and he's an electrician. And so I'm gonna get everything kind of done on the front end and then have him come back for a later video and kind of connect everything and make everything nice and perfect. Now, am I building to code? The short answer is kind of. I actually think I'm overbuilding to code, but where I am, there is no code for certain buildings under a certain dollar amount. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for what it is. So I think I'm gonna start by doing the boxes for the electrical outlets, and then I'll run my 12 gauge wire to them and my switches. And then I'm going to do the lighting at the very end because I got to get up on this scaffolding. If you look behind me, I have the scaffolding here. I have a piece of furniture here. I got tables set up in here. It's a little bit of a clutter mess right now, and I've been bringing supplies and furnishings and stuff for this that have been at my house back in the Memphis area. And I was sick of looking at everything and taking up my shop back at home. And so it's a little cluttered in here, but so let me give you a little tour of the cabin space right now, because I have to make the decision where furniture and layout, kitchen, all that's gonna be, because that's gonna determine where I put my electrical outlets. So imagine for a moment that we walk up to a deck. The deck is gonna be about 10 feet or so wide, with the roof being 12 feet wide. And it's gonna come out this way approximately 6 feet. So there'll be a deck up here, and I'm gonna have an outlet right down here, and I'm gonna have a light right up here for the outside. I have not purchased that yet. I just now remembered I need to do that. So as you walk in, you can see there's stuff kind of everywhere right now. The kitchen is gonna be right here to your left. I'm probably gonna put this piece of furniture right up here. It's gonna be my pantry, I think. And then right here is gonna be a table and chairs for eating. Over in this corner is gonna be a queen size bed. In this corner will be bunk beds maybe, or something, a place for the kids to sleep. Right here in the middle will be the heater, possibly a mini split if I decide to do that. And then right over here will be the Nintendo 64 off-grid gaming setup with a little futon or couch. Maybe a futon would be better, just, I don't know, just for an extra sleeping area. And you know what I also need? I need like a small recliner or something. Somewhere where I could just sit, read my Bible, pray, look out the window, and enjoy God's creation from inside the house. And what I'm thinking is putting the panel right there and having the electrical run from there. That way the light switch can just be right over here and keep the electrical out of the way. So this is how I'm doing the off-grid power system. This is a Jackery power station. It has 2,000 watt hours-ish of power and a max output, I think of 2,500 watts or something like that. And it is stackable, which means if I decide that that's not enough power, I can add on to it and have these little units that stack on top of it and connect to it. But this is what's really cool about this setup, and it's kind of designed for off-grid purposes. So you see you have all of your AC outlets and things right here. You have fast charging, you have DC, but this is really what it's about. This is a 30 amp plug. And what you do is you purchase the 30 amp adapter plug right here, this cord. It then ties into this manual transfer switch, okay? And then the transfer switch ties directly into your actual breaker box. And so basically what that means is I'm going to be powering the entire cabin with just this Jackery. So I just plug it in, flip it on, and I've got power to the whole cabin. Honestly, this is the main thing that they're gonna run are these recessed LED lights that basically use maybe 50 watts of power, if that, and then it'll run the Nintendo 64 and maybe a few small electronic devices. I'm charging a little fan. I'll probably put a fan in up there eventually, but it's really not gonna run a lot. I think 2,000 watt hours is gonna be plenty for a weekend, especially if I wanna solar charge it at the same time. It can run a microwave. It cannot run heat or AC, or at least not for very long. And so my intention is to have a heating unit right here in the middle of this wall. And so yeah, I think it's gonna work out just great. I really don't think it's gonna be an issue. I think it's gonna be plenty of power. You want 18 inches from the bottom of the flooring to the top of your outlet box. And so instead of measuring each one and marking the wall and doing all that mess, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a 2x4 to the right height, and that's gonna give me my 18 inches. Then all I need to do is put the piece in there, and I can put the box literally right on top and just tack it in to the wall stud, and that should expedite the process. The things that you learn from YouTube. So I'm working on this double outlet, and I kept hitting 1,000 times this nail through, and it was hitting this right here. Look what it did to the nail. It absolutely bent it to smithereens trying to get through the top of this knot right here. So I have these spiral nails. I'm gonna try and get this in there. See if I can, there we go. See if I can get this in there. It's the same width and length. See how that works out. All right, so this is gonna be the kitchenette area, I think. So I'm gonna put an outlet down low and then also one up high. I read that the average countertop is 3 feet high. Should put it at about here. So if I put a countertop that's say 1.5 inches thick, I want the outlet somewhere up here. Oh, I thought this place was possessed. I started hitting it and I could hear the leaves fall from the roof. All right, I'm trying to rack my brain around this and I think I got it figured out. So this is gonna be my main circuit breaker, my main utility box. And then this is the manual transfer case. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wire this box into this to feed it power. And then this 30 amp switch is gonna go right down into this hole and be wired into that. Then I can take my cord from my Jackery and plug that bad boy straight in there and hit the power button. That's gonna power the transfer case, which is gonna power the circuit breaker, which will then power the outlets. So I think I have it figured out. Now I just gotta come over here and make it look real pretty. All right, so after further thought, I need to put a base plate here for the circuit breaker to sit on top of. I don't feel comfortable just going through the walls. I did not think I was gonna have to be doing any framing today, but I've got a piece here and it's gonna go right here between these two studs, and I'll screw it in because I didn't bring my nail gun. I wasn't expecting to do this, but I may put a stud underneath it, I'm not sure, but this will at least give it something to rest on, something to bite into. Tell you what, kind of looks like I know what I'm doing. It is finally time to drill some holes. So I have 250 feet of this 12 gauge wire that will be wiring for the entire cabin, including the lights. And in theory, I'm gonna have 100 extra feet, but I always seem to just have enough or just not enough. So we'll see. I'm gonna start running this through the wall. Before I run the line, I actually have to fill in these corners, because you see, this is flush with the wall, but when it comes over here, there is a gap. So what I need to do is attach a 2x4 so that I have a perfect 90-degree surface for the siding, the walls, to actually go on, and then I can actually drill a hole through both of them. You want to have a nice straight line, and then you want to have a little loop here. This will give you some extra room if you ever need it in the future. And then you can run it down into your socket and go from there. All right, I have half of the outlets pretty much done. I've got them all connected. I left about those 6 inches or so of extra running into each box and try to get it somewhat secure to the wall. It is not yet run to the actual box over on the other side of the door. So goodness, this is making for a really bad video because I have so much clutter in here, but this side of the cabin is done. That's going to be on 120 amp unit. And then this side is going to be the other 20 amp unit. And then I'm going to have a third one. It's going to be on 15 amp for the lights, which run up there. So it's not hard. It just takes time. All right, that is a wrap for today's video. I was here for about 6 hours or so and got as much done as I possibly could have gotten done. The Lord was good today. I got a few little injuries, nothing super bad, but he brought the sun out right as I was wrapping up today's work. So I got the circuit breaker installed, the 30 amp manual transfer switch installed for the Jackery 2000 power station. I got all the outlets, the outlet boxes installed, and all the outlets rough wired to each other, not to the actual circuit breaker. So I think I did about as much as I could have gotten done. Oh, I also did some cleanup. I killed the mouse that I've been hunting for like 3 or 4 months now, which is peak for today. And I also got the 4 corners kind of butted up against each other so that I'll have something to nail into for the inside walls. So man, God was good today. I'm ready to head home. I'm taking Truman to the Monster Truck Rally Show. And so we're both really excited about that. So I got to get home, get a shower, and get out of here. So God bless you. Thanks for watching today's video. And remember, God's creation is meant to be explored.